15 mind-blowing deep-sea facts. Although the deep sea occupies up to 95% of the Earth's living space and is the largest habitat on the world, it is also the most understudied ecosystem despite being one of the globe's most spectacular locations. Because of its depth and the challenges it presents to scientists, we know relatively little about the deep ocean and the life it contains. Indeed, it has been stated that humans are more familiar with the moon's surface than we are with the deepest ocean trenches. What, however, is the deep ocean? The open ocean extends for the first 200 meters of the ocean. Where there is light, a large portion of the marine life we are aware of resides. Below 200 meters, where there is little light left, you enter the twilight zone. Once you pass 1,000 meters, the water is completely devoid of light, and you have reached the deep sea. Discover these breathtaking deep-sea facts to learn more about the depths of the oceans. Number 1. The ocean is deeper than Mount Everest. Few have ever bravely conquered Mount Everest, the highest point on the planet, and even fewer have ever sunk to the depths of space. The Challenger Deep is the Mariana Trench's deepest point. The Challenger Deep is located about 11 kilometers below the surface of the ocean, 7 miles. Even if Mount Everest were lowered into this abyss, it would be more than a mile away from the water's surface. Many bottom-dwelling fish and invertebrates make their homes there, where the temperature is always slightly above freezing and the pressure is more than 1,000 times greater than on the surface. Number 2. Only 3 people have visited the depths of the Challenger Deep. In a solo submersible dive in 2012, director of films James Cameron attained a record depth of 35,756 feet. When the only other explorers who reached Challenger Deep returned in 1960 after seeing little more than the silt stirred up by their bathyscaphe, Cameron was probably collecting data, specimens, and imagery that were unimaginable. Number 3. The average depth of the ocean is around 14,000 feet, which is equal to the Statue of Liberty stacked one top of itself 47 times. Number 4. We have better maps of Mars than we do of the ocean floor. In reality, standard sonar methods had barely covered 5 to 15% of the ocean's depths up to that point, according to NASA. This is due to the fact that scanning the ocean's bottom is both costly and time-consuming. Because we wanted to know what the ships were moving over, the scans were typically conducted in areas where ships travel. Nearshore depths and well-traveled shipping routes have been covered, but that's about it. Recently, researchers from Virginia Tech and an Old Dominion University professor collaborated to create a fleet of 12 underwater drones that cost $125,000 each and are intended to scan the deepest areas of the ocean more quickly and affordably than anyone has ever done before. Number 5. Many organisms produce their own light, called bioluminescence. Bioluminescence can allow species to survive in the deep ocean's darkness. Some fish employ lit lures to entice prey to their mouths, and some squid use bioluminescent liquid, rather than ink, to fool their predators. In order to find a mate, worms and small crustaceans also emit bioluminescence. From the surface to the seafloor, from the area close to the coast to the vast ocean, bioluminescent species are found throughout the water column. Because the deep sea is so large, bioluminescence may be the most prevalent means of communication on the planet there, where it is exceedingly prevalent. Number 6. The deepest point on Earth is 11 kilometers deep in the Mariana Trench, near the Mariana Islands. The Mariana Trench is the deepest known submarine trench, and it is close to Guam. It is also the place on Earth that is known to be the deepest. The Challenger Deep is the name of the trench's deepest section, 36,200 feet deep. It was discovered in 1872 to 1876 by an expedition led by the British Royal Navy survey ship HMS Challenger, which earned it the name. The first manned craft to enter the Marianas Trench was the Bathyscaphe Trieste, designed by Auguste Piccard. The water there tends to range between 34 to 39 degrees Fahrenheit. But what's surprising is how hot the water can get, too. There are hydrothermal vents throughout the trench. The water that comes out of those vents would be enough to scald anyone at 700 degrees Fahrenheit, but don't worry, anyone not in a hardy vessel would be instantaneously crushed by the tremendous pressure first. Number 7. The largest deep-sea fish is called Greenland shark, which has a length of 6.4 meters. Due to their enormous size, they are frequently mistaken for great white sharks. They can grow to be 24 feet, 7.2 meters, long and weigh up to 3,100 pounds, 1,400 kilograms. Greenland sharks have a ravenous appetite and will consume practically anything. They frequently consume eels, lumpfish, flounder, and other small sharks, but they will also consume carrion, or the meat of deceased creatures. They have also been observed eating animals from the land. A polar bear jaw, a reindeer's complete body, horse bones, and moose hide have all been discovered within the stomachs of Greenland sharks. Sharks from Greenland are infrequently seen in the wild. The first photographs of a Greenland shark swimming in its native environment were not taken until 1995, according to biologists. Then in 2003, Greenland sharks are rarely observed in the wild. It wasn't until 1995 that scientists were able to capture the first pictures of a Greenland shark swimming in its natural habitat. Then in 2003, the first and only video footage of a Greenland shark swimming was taken. Number 8. One of the biggest problems facing underwater explorers is the pressure. In fact, the pressure on a square inch of surface increases by 6.47 kilograms, 14.27 pounds, for every 10 meters gone deeper into the ocean. Scientists and explorers must employ specially made equipment like manned submersibles and remotely operated vehicles, ROVs, that can function under high pressure in order to dive further into the ocean. How far out? Over 1,270 kilograms, 2,800 pounds, of force is applied to every square inch of a ROV surface as it descends to a depth of 2,000 meters. That implies that the pressure in the Challenger Deep is almost 1,100 times that of the surface. Number 9. The great depths are measured using TNT. Despite concerns about the method's sensitivity, even the preliminary findings are impressive. The Kermadec, Kuril-Kamchatka, Philippine, and Tonga trenches, all in the western Pacific Ocean, are the other 4 trenches that have been found to be deeper than 10,000 meters, 32,808 feet, in addition to the Mariana Trench. Bomb sounding, a technique where TNT is dropped into the trenches and the echo is captured from a boat, allows scientists to determine the depth in the deepest portions of the ocean. Number 10. Tons of hazardous waste was dumped in the deep sea. Tons of hazardous pharmaceutical waste, or the weight of 880 Boeing 747s, were dumped into the Puerto Rico Trench in the 1970s. The dumping was permitted as a temporary solution until a new wastewater treatment facility was being constructed because Puerto Rico at the time was a major manufacturer of pharmaceuticals. Delays inevitably led to the site's ongoing dumping until the 1980s. According to samples taken from the dump site, the contaminants caused significant harm to ecosystems. A 1981 research found demonstrable changes in the marine microbial community in the region used for trash disposal. Unfortunately, pharmaceutical waste is one of myriad things we as a society have dumped into the world's oceans. Industrial and medical waste, dredge spoils, sewage sludge, ocean mining waste, high-level and low-level radioactive waste, munitions, ships, tires, and much more all have been disposed of at sea. Number 11. The loudest ocean sound remained a mystery for 15 years. Scientists discovered an unusually loud noise in 1997 while looking for underwater volcanoes off the coast of South America. They were baffled by what they had heard. It was known as the bloop. One of the loudest underwater sounds ever recorded, the bloop was picked up by hydrophones, underwater microphones, located more than 3.000 miles distant. Additionally, no cause could be determined by experts at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, who were the ones to first record the bloop. The NOAA came to the conclusion that the noise was caused by an icequake after 15 years, which occurs when seismic activity cracks frozen ground. This conclusion is still contested by many people, and the bloop continues to be a popular subject for conspiracy theories. Number 12. The ocean is full of gold. The oceans contain about 20 million tons of gold that is scattered throughout them. However, there are just a few parts per trillion, making it extremely diluted. Undissolved gold is also lodged in the ocean floor, but mining it would not be profitable. But if it were divided evenly among all the inhabitants of the earth, everybody would get 9 pounds of gold. There is currently no profitable way to extract the gold from seawater that is also cost-effective. Nevertheless, many enthusiastic investors and inventors, including dishonest ones, persisted. In the 1890s, Pastor Ford Jernigan came up with a plan for a gold accumulator in a fever dream. The plan was to extract gold from the Long Island Sound using a process involving mercury and electricity treatments. Number 13. Deepest recorded whale dive is at 2,992 meters, 9,816 feet. Whales can generally hold their breath for hours, and some species, such sperm whales, are well-known deep divers. However, Cuvier's beaked whales hold the record for deep diving. The current record holder for the longest and deepest dive undertaken by a whale belongs to this elusive species, which routinely dives to depths of more than 2,000 meters, 6,600 feet. Off the coast of California, this brave whale was captured diving to a maximum depth of 2,992 meters, 9,816 feet, for 2 hours and 17 minutes. Number 14. Corals produce their own sunscreen. Scientists have discovered that the corals on the Great Barrier Reef produce organic sunscreen. According to this article by Dermascope, it might also defend the fish that eat coral. It serves as a defense mechanism against UVA and UVB radiation. As you may expect, chemists are attempting to obtain this. They're trying to extract it for human use, which would produce a natural sunscreen for people, but it would end up destroying a significant section of the coral reefs. Other sources assert that they only replicate the procedure. Number 15. Time-shifting earthquakes. In deep ocean water, tsunami waves merely create a low, broad hump that is scarcely perceptible and harmless. They often move quickly, at 500 to 1,000 kilometers per hour, 310 to 620 miles per hour. A tsunami only slows to tens of kilometers per hour in shallow water close to coastlines, yet while doing so, it creates massive destructive waves. A fault rupture in the Japan Trench was the root cause of the magnitude 9.0 Tokuoki earthquake that struck Japan in 2011. Over 35 coastal cities were impacted, and there were about 20,000 dead or missing as a result of the incident and ensuing tsunami. There were 666 aftershocks that were stronger than magnitude 5.0 after the earthquake. High-magnitude earthquakes with trench origins contain enormous amounts of energy. The 2004 Sumatra Andaman earthquake in the Java Trench caused a sufficiently massive release of energy to alter the Earth's rotation, shortening the day by 2.68 microseconds. Similarly, the Tohoku-oki earthquake shifted the Earth's axis by between 10 centimeters and 25 centimeters, shortening the day by another 1.8 microseconds.